Tôi sẽ nói về, hôm nay tôi sẽ shadowing về tiền và credit card. Yeah. You know what drives me absolutely crazy? Watching people throw money at the stock market like they're feeding coins into the slot machine, completely ignoring the fact they got credit card debt, charging them 22% interest, sitting right there laughing at them. It's like trying to fill the bucket that's a massive hole in the bottle and wondering why you're not making any progress. My name is Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, optimal investment strategies, why most people seem determined to do everything in the wrong order is come to building wealth. If you're someone who actually wants to understand the proper sequence for investing your money instead of just throwing dollars at what sounds exciting, make sure to hit the subscribe button and this video thumbs up and stop saving from expensive mistakes. Here's something that might shock you. According to recent data, 1 in 3 Americans doesn't have an emergency fund. A median amount Americans have saved emergency is a whopping $500. $500. That's less than most people monthly. A car payment is actually down from $600 years ago. Meanwhile, these same people asking me whether I should buy individual stocks, invest in cryptocurrency. It's like asking whether you should buy Ferraris when you don't have any money to fix transmissions in your current car. The truth is, there's an optimal order to invest in your money, and literally you save tens of dollars like that. And dramatic. Oh my god. But most people completely ignore this question because it's not exciting. It's picking the next hot stock or trying to time the market. They want to skip straight to the fun stuff without doing the boring and foundational work that actually matters. Today, I'm going to walk you through the exact order you should be investing your money, step by step, so you can maximize your returns while minimize your risks. And I guarantee some of this right you, especially the part about your employer method should come before almost everything else, and why health saving cards might be the most powerful investment most people completely ignoring. But before we dive into specific steps, let me tell you why getting the order wrong can be so devastating. Imagine you're building a house. You wouldn't start by picking out fancy slide features and graphic carpet and the foundation and glue leaking. That exactly most people do with finance. Are getting exciting, invest like this, a trendy ETF while carrying high interest debt and guaranteed to destroy any gains they may make. The opportunities that getting it wrong is massive. Every month delay pay a credit card that chatting to 22% interest in a month, when that's debt growing faster than the most investment you can reasonably expect to make. Every month you ignore your employees' matching contributions is literally free money you leave it on the table. Every month you contribute a taxable investing accounts before maxing out the tax advantage options in money you're unnecessarily handing over to the IRS. Before you invest a single dollars anywhere, you need to establish an emergency fund. Now, I know this sounds boring. I know you'd rather hear about the stock are going to make you rich, but it's an emergency fund isn't just about having money for expensive, though that's certainly important. It's about creating psychological safety net that prevents you from making terrible financial decisions when might inevitably throw you a curveball. When your car breaks down or you face unexpected medical bills, having an emergency fund means you don't have to sell your investment at worst possible time or rack up high interest debt to cover expenses. The question everyone asks, how much should you save for emergencies? The traditional advice is to save to make a living expensive, but honestly, the rest or so border is almost useless. Your max you need depends on several factors. If you have a stable government job or great benefits, you might be fine to 3 months expensive. If you're freelancer and vulnerable to industry safety net, you might know 6 months or even more. Here what I recommend for most people. Start by saving your first $1,000 as quickly as possible. This covers most minor emergencies and give you a psychological safety net that work towards one month's living is massive. Once you hit that milestone, keep building until you reach 3 months on this basis. If the bros break down what can feel like overwhelming goals into the manageable chunks. But here's something interesting that most people don't realize. Recent research from Viger found that people that with at least $2,000 emergency savings have financial well-being scores that 21% higher than those without emergency fund. That's where the largest link and inflation. 2000 isn't a change in money, the psychological impact of having a birth flop is enormous. Once you got emergency fund in place, the next step is absolutely critical. You need to eliminate all higher interest debt before you invest anything else. When you say higher interest, I'm talking about anything charging you more than about 8% annually, but the also can vary depending on current market conditions. And credit card debt is obvious evidence here. With average interest rate 22%, credit card debt is financial cancer. It grows faster almost any reasonable investment return you could expect, which means carrying credit card investing is like trying to run marathon with a backpack full of rocks. Mathematically, paying a debt guarantees high investors a provide guaranteed return, equaling investment rate, which offer higher than the reasons expect from stock market taxes. Let me put in perspective. You have 5,000 in credit card debt at 22% interest. You make only minimum payments. You pay nearly $2,800 over 5 years. That money that you could have been worth for you instead of against you. Every dollar you used to pay them granted 22% returns, which is better than Warren Buffett's long-term average. The strategies for paying off debt efficiently list pay the payment everything, then through extra dollar debt with the highest interest rate. This is called the debt overlimit method. It will save you the most money automatically. Some people prefer the debt snowball method, where you pay off the smallest balance first to recycle motivation. But the average method is more efficient. Here's the what gets interesting. And already one major exception to the rule of paying off debt before investing. It is so important that actually becomes the next steps in our optimal investment order. If your employer offered matching contributions to retirement plan, you should contribute enough to get a full match even before you finish paying off high invested debt. This might seem counterintuitive, but never compelling. Imagine you pay investments after the market. Even if your credit card debt at 22%, getting a 100 immediately return usually makes sense. It's like finding money lying on the ground. The employers will double if you pick it up. Here's a typical example. Your employer makes match 50 cents on dollars is 6% of salaries. If you earn $50,000 annually, contributed $3,000 to get a full of $15 match, representing 50% immediately return, plus whatever investment can over terms. No other investment opportunities can guarantee kind of returns. Key is contributing through mass and getting all the extra money back to pay off high interest debt. Once the debt's gone, is increase your retirement contributions. This strategy manages the guarantees returns. There's important caveats to consider with employer matching through. Some companies have invested cash and determine how long you need to stay with the company that keep matching funds. If you don't plan to stay in your current job for very long, make sure you understand the vesting schedules. However, with investment requirements, immediately return for employees of matching usually makes it worthwhile. The faster emergency fund, debt elimination, and employer matchings create the background and a financial house without piece of place. Everything else we would invest in is essentially building with withstand. Once you got the financial piece locked down, we move into the iconic task optimization zone. This is where we create really interesting. Most people completely mess up because they try shiny objects, skip to right tax investment accounts, when it should be imagining a tax advantage option available them first. Now we get messy missings, your individual retirement account, and here's why this comes before your money into blood of 40.